is Liam Newbling, and I stand in the firmest negation of the resolution. Resolved, this House believes in poetic license. Now, before I begin, I'd like to raise a couple off-case issues. I'd like to bring up a trichotomy that this is actually a value debate and not a plan, as my opponents have offered up, and that is based off our interpretation of believes not warranting any type of specific action. Also, I don't agree with their interpretation of poetic license, or their definition for that matter, because it is inherently contradictory to the very widely accepted definition, which I'm going to offer up right now. So, our definitions are poetic license is actually, and this is taken straight from the dictionary, it's the diverting from the everyday and conventional methods of speech in order to reach a desired effect. Now, I'm going to explain later on how this is related to all this. So, yes.
We agree that that probably is the dictionary definition of poetic license, but when you look at a resolution, it's supposed to be interpreted contextually as the government team provides. So can we actually see that this should be interpreted through a more contextual way?
No, because there's no real context in this. You sort of invented a context. I'm providing one that allows for more education in this debate and doesn't limit it strictly to the idea of immigration like you've had. Now, I'm going to offer up another framework that I feel is more inherently tied to poetic license. Art is the purest form of expression. It expresses feelings and emotions in a more profound way than regular speech ever could. In order to transcend the semantics of debate, we must resort to a higher form of expression. Therefore, the judge should base today's round on whoever has the best way of expressing their contention. And I feel it's very apropos to express this through song and highlight how poetic license, as the definition that I've offered up and as the more widely accepted definition, should not be supported and should be lessened as opposed to strengthened, as my opponents brought up. Contention 1. We believe that poetic license exists and it can be valid. However, it can be abused in certain situations. Refer to what I'm doing right now. My opponents, they brought up some pretty valid points. But, yes. Alright, I'll play a little softly. But I am allowed to do this. It's a form of debate called a critique. Okay? If you haven't heard it before. Okay? So, we believe the poetic license exists and it can be valid. However, it can be abused in certain situations. Okay? If you reference this debate right now, my opponents have made some pretty good, valid points, but I don't find them to be contextually relevant. And they're making really good speeches, and I'm up here singing a song. Not really singing, it's more free verse poetry set to a ukulele. And all this is done in an attempt to illustrate the detriments of the commonly accepted definition of poetic license, which is, I will repeat, diverting from everyday methods of speech to reach a desired effect. And my desired effect is to show how it can be a detriment to an otherwise serious topic. Now, as you can see, I'm expressing my poetic license, and I'm supporting the ask by strengthening it. However, by doing this, we're ending up removing some education from the debate that otherwise could be there. So, if anything, we should probably be limiting poetic license. Now, second contention. Yes?
So you just contradict yourself. That one time you're saying that it's good, one time you're saying it's bad. What is it? Is education more important than poetic license, or what?
I'm trying to say that in certain situations, we shouldn't be broadening poetic license. Your definition of believe was to strengthen, if I'm correct. That's what I have down. I think that's what the judge has down too. Now, if we're going to strengthen it, I should be allowed to do this up here, because you think that it's going to raise GDP and that it's going to allow for the U.S. to be more prosperous. However, clearly it's not doing that. In fact, it's probably being a detriment to this debate right now. So I'm trying to illustrate how poetic license, if anything, should be lessened. This isn't helping me make my point at all. In fact, it's showing you how poetic license is bad in certain situations. Now, on to my second contention I was trying to say. Poetic license hindering poetic license does not hinder individuality. Because I can play my ukulele all day, but I probably shouldn't be playing it in a debate round. But I'm doing it to make a point. And it's a very clear point, in my opinion. And then we still have to express ourselves without being disruptive. You know, the Constitution says that we have the freedom of speech, but I can't run into a movie theater and scream fire in the name of poetic license. I can say it's an art form, but it still goes against safety, but expresses poetic license. So why should we be broadening something that really shouldn't be broadened in certain situations? Now to go over, I'm not taking any questions right now. To go over to their on-case arguments, because I still have to talk about it even though I don't believe that their interpretations are true, they say that immigration is bad and that they don't like a lot of people coming here. They only like the people that come here legally, which doesn't make much sense. Because there's a lot of farm workers that have come to the United States illegally, and they're doing no wrong, other than the fact that they're here illegally. And they're supporting the U.S. economy very much so, by allowing us to get affordable food. Now, I think it's wrong they're being taken advantage of, that's contradictory to their argument, saying that immigration is good, because they should just support all immigrants then. Also, this ties into their interpretation of poetic license. They talk about soft power in their second intention, and they make the broadest link ever to poetic license by saying that, oh, well, immigrants starting up companies will increase our soft power. And they cite conflict in the Middle East, yet that doesn't actually have a link to any technological development by immigrants. There's no link there. They also say, by increasing poetic license, we'll stop nuclear war. All bad, nuclear war, no link. So as you've seen, poetic license has hindered this debate. I warrant a negative ballot. Thank you.
Time.